So what are we talking about? We are talking about Dominion Tank Police. This is my jam. Tank Police! Feel the power that we got. Tank Police! Yeah. That's right. Do you like 80s movies? Do you like buddy cop rom-coms? Well, guess what? Have I got a buddy comedy rom-com set in the future from the 80s for you! Plus tanks! I may have a special affinity for Dominion Tank Police and Masamune Shirow in general because when I was a wee lad, Tank Police was one of the only animes I could get my hands on, and it's awesome! It's so silly, but at the same time, so good. Be advised, there is a different Dominion Tank Police called New Dominion Tank Police, and there are 6 episodes of that, and I will do that eventually. But I'm just talking about the 89/92 Dominion Tank Police. Even though I am going to gush about this, it has problems. There are several things that are wrong with it. But in spite of that, there are many, many things that it is doing right. Okay, and for those of you who remember my Ghost in the Shell review, I told you that the Ghost in the Shell world and the Tank Police world are the same world. This takes place in the same city as the Major and the Section 9 bullshit. Remember all that Section 9 bullshit? Well, this is that city. Granted, the original 89 release of Dominion Tank Police has a totally different conceptual look to the city because it's all kind of futury and a little bug-like. But it's mostly background shit anyway. The street level buildings, all the cars, and the clothes are very what you would imagine. But these buildings are fucking weird. As you might imagine from the title, Tank Police, it's about a bunch of police with tanks. What else do I need to explain? They're tank police. They use tanks for police work. They are regular police with tanks. They're kind of glorified thugs. Most of them are still good people most of the time. Maybe not so nice in the interrogation department. Whatever the fuck is going on. This is terrifying. And these are the good guys. I'm just pointing this out. These are the good guys. This world is kind of fucked up. Remember all that bullshit that Major was dealing with? Yeah, well, these are the street cops. You meet Leona Ozaki. She is a motorcycle cop transfer, the newest transfer to the Tank Police, and all the other Tank Police officers are men, so, you know, they don't know what to do. A lot of them just kind of keep away from her or make googly eyes at her. Al gets butterflies. You mean Al? Al gets butterflies, because, you know, rom-com. I mean, who else could be the love interest? Her Tank Bonaparte? Oh, wait. Yeah. Well, it's definitely not Lieutenant Britain, because nobody likes that guy, except me. He's half the reason the first 2 acts are so good, is because of his goofy-ass dialogue and the way his English voice actor sells it. I totally buy the 80s cop movie. I totally buy it. Right? That's why I enjoy it so much. Aside from Leona and Al and Lieutenant Britain, none of your other characters, at least your police officer characters, have names. I will demonstrate. Specs, Mohican, Chaplain, the Chief. Those are their names, which means your bad guys having names makes your bad guys more interesting than the cops. You meet Bwaku and his cat gang, Anna and Uni Puna. Whatever. Anna and Uni, they're the Puma twins, okay? They're the Puma twins and they're cat girls, but they're cat girl androids. As far as the twin cat girl villains go, I think Anna and Uni are the best. Bwaku, Anna, and Uni are all artificial beings, right? They're all androids, which is why they're together at all, right? Hey, you're fake. Hey, we're fake. They're all fake people. Well, maybe not these two, and I don't know what's up with this guy with this bunny, but he's always like that, and I don't know why. But let's talk about some of the bad things. The voice acting's okay. What really helps the English voice acting is the dialogue. Man, that is some good dialogue. But the voice acting itself, Yeah, it's okay. This was released in English in 92, all right? This is from 89. Keep in mind that back in the day, voice acting wasn't how voice acting is nowadays. It's written really well. The dialogue's really good. It's super short. It's super short. It's only 4 episodes long. Each episode's little over 30 minutes, like 32, 35 minutes, all right? They're pretty short. So back in the day, that's right, when I had to own these on VHS, I had to buy 2 tapes. Now, obviously, you can just get them on 1 DVD, but it's not very long, so they raise a lot of really interesting questions that they don't answer because they didn't make any more. Aside from the opener, the first opener, the Tank Police opener, the music's it's okay. It's kind of like the same 5 pieces of music throughout the entire series, which is only 4 episodes. But you kind of notice that there's only like 4 pieces of music. Yeah, you start to be like, hey, that's that one song. And then like 10 minutes later, you'll be like, hey, that's that one song. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, hey, that's that one song. It also has a couple of other problems. But a lot of that is due with the technology at the time. Remember how I talked about Ghost in the Shell and how it looks dated? This kind of suffers from the same thing, and keep in mind, this came out before Ghost in the Shell. I just want you to understand this. Ghost in the Shell came out in 94. Remember that? Yeah, this came out before that. Masamune Shirow had this very distinct style back in the late 80s / the early 90s, and they had this like weird little triangle button nose with these little lines over at the top. So they just kind of transferred that over to the animation style, and it looks a little funky. It kind of does by today's standards. It's kind of weird, but I think it serves its purpose. The animation is actually really good. They reuse a lot of frames, but at the same time, it works, especially with some of the better pieces of music. You're like, yeah, this is awesome! Honestly, the whole show, it's just good. Especially after episode 4. I wish we got a little bit more because that is actually a really interesting story that they just kind of end. Which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's not about them. It's about Leona and Al and Bonaparte. It's really about Leona and Bonaparte. But Leona starts out like really nice and innocent and pure, and by the end of episode 2, she's like a cop, right? She's already blackmailed the lieutenant. She's already pulled her gun on the mayor. Like, really? You pulled your gun on the mayor! Honestly, I don't know what else to say. I enjoy the fuck out of this. I think it's funny. I think the dialogue's really good. And even if nostalgia is influencing my judgment heavily, I will say my official rating and my unofficial rating system, totally own-worthy. You should own it. At least check it out. You can probably find it on YouTube. Just type in Dominion Tank Police. This is AniView by Dave. I, of course, am Dave. If you have any questions, comments, confusions, suggestions, put them below, and I will get back to you. See you next time. Tank Police! Feel the power that we got. Tank Police! We'll give it our best shot. It has its problems and it doesn't look great by today's standards, but at the same time, I think the funness of it just kind of carries that along because honestly, it's a really fun show. And considering it's happening while Ghost in the Shell is happening, you would not assume that. Oh, by the way, Lieutenant Britain, this guy is cousins with the guy the Major kicked the shit out of in Ghost in the Shell in the water. Remember that guy? Yeah, that's his cousin. Bet you didn't know that shit. The more you know.